y'all. I figured it out. Yay. How's it going, everybody? How's it going? Good. I'm glad. Can y'all hear me? Okay. Can y'all hear me okay? Let me know. Oh, okay. Good. Okay. So, hey, happy Thursday. Today is a kind of a different video because I think that, well, it was kind of suggested by one of the ladies in the varsity group in the PinkPrint Academy. So I wanted to do this video. Y'all know that I love to talk about money. So we are gonna, oh Lord, it's all loud. I'm watching on my phone too, so I can see the comments and stuff. So yeah, where's my dang on book. Hang on, because I had a whole bunch of notes and everything. One moment. Sorry. Okay, sorry, y'all. So I had to go get my notebook, my little unicorn notebook, but it has all of my notes that I was going to use for today. So what we're going to talk about, I think we're going to start a new series on this channel, and I think we will call it Feminine Finance, because I'm a good example of how you can still be feminine, but make very big money moves as a businesswoman. So I think that it's time that we kind of elevate a little bit, and because I know some of y'all, a lot of you guys have requested that you want to talk about this. So I think now's a good time. So so to give you a little bit of background about me and my role, or what have you, as far as finance is concerned, I have as you guys know, I'm in real estate. I've been doing real estate for going on about 6 years now. And I started with no money, zero. It was bad, but I had no money at all. And because I was in a 50-50 relationship, I really didn't have the support that I needed. I was working, as I told you guys, in the medical field. So it was really hard for me to kind of get ahead. But I was able to do it by making some smart decisions and kind of getting out in front of my situation, basically. So to give you kind of a background, I started back in, like I said, 6 years ago. And right now, today, I have 7 streams of income in real estate. And of course, that's my niche that I was able to find, and I was comfortable there. But we're going to talk about some more of my investments as well. But I started out in real estate, and then as my portfolio has started to grow, I've kind of expanded and kind of been able to take a little bit more risk where investing was concerned, because I wanted to perfect my real estate business first before I started to branch out and do other things. So I have 7, like I said, income streams. And at this point, it is a multi-million-dollar portfolio that I have in real estate. I think the last time I checked, I was, on the other side of right at $3 million. So it's pretty big. But again, this is just my investment portfolio. So it's not saying that, oh, I have, this much money It's not saying that I have this much money. It's just saying that that's how large my portfolio is. And I just made another money move that is going to double that at the beginning of this year. So I'm excited about that. But I have rentals, I have lease options. I'm also a lender. I have flips. I have 2 apartment complexes. I have a really big portfolio of investments. I also have a couple of mutual funds, which is where I started when I was beginning. I didn't have a whole lot of money, so mutual funds are kind of easy to get into. So I started there, and I've since gotten rid of my original one, and I have elevated into some better mutual funds at this point. I'm just now getting into stocks. I was scared to do it at first because stocks are not very certain. They go up and down, up and down, up and down. But I just recently kind of dipped my toe in a little bit. And so I think that, my portfolio in stocks is about 50,000 in stocks right now. And I have some blue chips and indexes for now, but I also have a lot of dividend paying stocks as well. So I have that. I have real estate trusts. I have bonds. I have invested in private businesses. I have, just a lot of different investments. So I know a little bit about finance. And so that's why I wanted to talk to you guys about this, because you can really, really do a lot of things with the money that you're receiving from these men. Instead of buying, like Chanel bags, or instead of buying, dumb stuff like $500-$800 wigs and stuff like that. I wanted to talk about smart things that you could do with your money in order to make it grow, in order for you to grow your life exponentially on the back of somebody else, basically. So that's kind of just my background or whatever, but this is what we're gonna start with. So wherever you are, I don't care if you're making $1,000, I don't care if you're making $10,000 a month or whatever your monthly income is, you need to be paying yourself first. So that's the number one thing. The first thing that you need to do is pay yourself first. And every, financial book that you'll read, anything, Warren Buffett, all the big wigs tell you that this is the very first step. You need to make sure that you're paying yourself first, and that this is money that you will not touch. Now, you guys know how I am, and that I really don't like saving. And the reason why I don't like saving is because of this right here, because I had to save for a long time. And I had to deny myself. But when I was seeing the bigger picture, I was like, well, I guess it was worth it, So I went ahead and, the first thing that you need to do is pay yourself. And by pay yourself, I mean that you need to set aside at least 10% of your monthly gross income to the side and not touch it. And I know that may sound daunting and like, oh my God, I don't know if I could do that. I don't have the money to do that or whatever. But if you don't have the money to do that right now, that means that you are living beyond your means. If you don't have at least 10% of your income that's kind of flexible and fluid, then that means you're living beyond your means. So a way to be able to save at least your 10% is to kind of downgrade your life. If you have to ride the bus instead of driving your car, or not eat at McDonald's, or, whatever it is, you need to start doing things that you can prepare yourself to be able to have this money set aside. So 10% is the minimum that you need to be having set aside. Because if you think about it, if you don't learn how to manage money when you don't have any, you're going to have a very, very hard time once you start getting into, somebody gives you $25,000, somebody's giving you $80,000, somebody, has given you a larger sum of money and you don't know what to do with it. So you need to learn how to manage your little so that when the big day comes, you'll be able to manage it and do it effectively. And so I started like this myself, where I had to really like pinch and pinch and pinch, like I said, but now I'm able to pay myself, instead of the 10%, I'm able to pay myself right at 80% of my real estate income. So like I said, I have all this residual that's coming in right now, and all this passive income. And so I'm able to pay myself 80% of that. The other 20, I reinvested. I reinvested like all over. And when I say pay myself, I mean to say that, I mean, I could easily go on vacations and do all this other stuff and whatever, but when I say pay myself, I mean that I'm giving myself this money so that I can reinvest it into other things. So, and you and I invest in multiple different ways, but you can invest in yourself by buying books, taking courses. I do have a coach that is a business coach that is an investment that I pay and talk to, and he's like my accountability partner, I guess you could say, in business. You know, different products, video, audio training, seminars, things like that. These are ways that you can pay yourself, because when you pay yourself, you have a 100% return on investment, because you'll be able to, you know, put into action what you've been learning. So those are some things you can do. Also, you can start a business. And nowadays, starting a business is so easy. You can start a business for a little of nothing. You know, you don't have to have a whole lot of money to start a business. And you just need to go with whatever you're passionate about. If you're passionate about hair, you know, doing hair, then start a hair company. But know that that market is very saturated, right? So I chose real estate because the market is not saturated with women at all. And it is 100% not saturated with Black women. So I'm sort of a unicorn in the real estate world. I'm nowhere near some of my partners. I'm nowhere near. Some of my partners are multi in the, you know, triple digit millionaires. And, you know, I'm just a little bitty fish in the pond right now, because I have stopped. I don't do it as aggressively as they do. I only work up until about April or May of every year. So I start January 1 and I close at the first quarter. So I work 1 quarter of the year in real estate, and I do not work in real estate almost ever, unless somebody's like, oh, can you help me or something? And I may, you know, kind of dip back in, but I don't really have to work because I did all the work back then. So I said that to say that you want to make sure that you are starting a business that you can work, that you will work, and that it's something that you can make a very good profit off of, right? So if it's hair, if it's, you know, you want to start a daycare, if it's computer programming or whatever it is, you start a business for yourself. And that's another way to, for a very high return. You want to make investments, no matter what they are, that give you a very high return. And if you start your own business and you work it, then you will see a very high return in, you know, in regard to whatever business you decide to start up. Do your research on the business, make sure the market is favorable for you to invest in this way, and then you go forward with whatever you want to do with that. Also, when investing, you want to make sure that you are playing the long game. You want to make sure that your mentality is that of someone who understands longevity. Because with all of my investments, there is no get rich quick. There is no, I'm going to invest, $40,000 today and I'm going to flip it and make $90,000. That's almost always unheard of. Do not sign up for stuff that promises that you'll be rich by next week. Don't give your money to anybody that you don't really know very well. Be wise when you're making your investments, even if it's in stocks, even if it's in mutual funds, even if it's through the bank. You want to make sure that you are playing the long game. When you invest, it needs to be money that you do not need right now. I can't stress that enough. Even if it's to start your own business, you need to do it with money that you don't need right now. So say, for instance, you have a whole bunch of debt. You have a lot of debt and you need to pay that debt off. Don't use that money to invest with it. Pay your debts off and then put the rest, whatever you have left, to the side. I have a lot of people that come from YouTube and from all over and say, oh, I want to, can you help me with, investing and things like that? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And they're like, oh, well, I have $2,000, right? And I'm like, well, you need to start a business, because that's the cheapest thing you can do with a small amount of money. And I don't want to discourage anyone from doing things like investing with smaller amounts, but you need to make sure that it's a very high return on your money so that you can make your money grow, instead of, okay, I invested 2,000 or I invested 10,000 and I only got back 15,000. I like investments that are, okay, I invested, let's say 100,000 to make it a round figure. I invested 100,000, but I'm going to end up making 365 off of my investment, right? So you want to do research as far as whatever you're going to invest in. But if you only have like 2,000 or 10,000, or a small amount, you want to be very wise with that money, and you want to make sure that it is not money that you are going to need immediately, right? So because when you do things like, oh, I'm going to get rich quick and I'm going to do this and it's going to, turn over this huge return or whatever, that almost never happens. And you don't want to get caught in something where you aren't able to, to recover from it, basically. Sorry, y'all. Hang on. Somebody asked me a question. I can't see. Good Lord, I don't have my eyeballs in, sorry. Somebody says, do I flip houses and buy properties or rent them out? Oh, I have 7 income streams. So just about every single income stream with real estate, I have right now. So, yes. So yes, I do that. I don't flip them myself. I have my company flips them. So I have employees and things like that. Will there be a Q&A session? Yes, there'll be a Q&A after this. Yes. I just kind of want to skim over some things. We are going to be going over this in the PinkPrint Academy, because, we're going to be, if you're going to be dating somebody, okay, and this man is giving you $20,000 a month, you need to be using that money wisely. You don't need to be splurging and, taking all your friends out for your other friend's birthday and doing dumb stuff like that, because you're going to wind up losing your money if you do that. You need to be using your money wisely at all times. Make sure you're using your money wisely. So sorry. Y'all cannot see. Who or what was my mentor to pass all this knowledge to me? Okay. So I got started with Robert Kiyosaki, and he's the guy that wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I signed up for those classes and I got the biggest class. And with them, you have 2 years to take all the courses that you want. I signed up for all 7 when I first started, and it was, let me move y'all closer because I cannot freaking see. I started with him, and they basically teach you about different money things, but you meet a lot of people while you're going to these classes. So y'all know me, I'm talking, being friendly. So I have a lot of friends who are bankers. I have a lot of friends who are, know about investments, of course. I have people who are stockmen, and somebody who knows about rehabs, and somebody who knows about this and that and that and that. So I have a lot of connections. So this is another thing. You don't ever want to be the smartest person in the room, especially in finance and in business. You want to, I don't have to know everything about finance, but I know people who know something about finance. If I want to know, is this an appreciating trust? I need to get in touch with somebody who knows something about trust, because I don't necessarily. I know what they are, but I want to be with somebody or link up with somebody who is very familiar with these types of things. So, yeah, you don't ever want to be the smartest person in the room. Always be open to learn and to grow, as far as anything is concerned, really. So another thing that I would suggest is that you choose a fiduciary company. And whether it's a company or an organization or whatever, you need to pick one that is legally bound, someone who is sound. And if it's an individual that you choose to be your fiduciary, you want to choose someone that you definitely trust, someone that someone that they have a good track record, somebody who is not grimy and going to steal your money, because that happens too. You don't want to be just given, $100,000 to somebody and you don't know where the heck it's going, So if you have say you have 5 sugar daddies and they each give you $50,000 apiece, right? That's a very large sum of money. You don't want to be just sitting on that type of money and it's just chilling there and it's not moving. Your money needs to always be moving, and you need to always have velocity with your money. You need to make sure that your money is making money, because if you put $250,000 into the bank, it's not doing you any good at all. It's not making you any interest. You're not benefiting from the fact that you have this much money in your possession. So make sure that you're always, always, always benefiting from the money that you have. Cash, $250,000 cash, is also not doing anything for you. If you put $250,000 in a mutual fund, though, you may be able to, make a large return on that. If you put it into real estate, you may be able to make a large return on that. So you don't want to, saving is good. That's why I said you need to take whatever you're earning and pinch off of it, that 10%. Saving is good, but saving is not what is going to make you supremely wealthy. Saving will not make you supremely wealthy. Investing is what will make you supremely wealthy. I've seen my money grow like 5-6 times. I've invested like $40,000 and turned around and made, well over 250 on that one investment. So, and savings is not really a must. Savings is not a must, but you need to have something that you can say, okay, I'm growing this for a new day, right? So keep that in mind too. So yes, make sure you choose a very good, very knowledgeable fiduciary who will help you manage your funds. Also, you need to be familiar with what their strategy is. Be familiar with what their strategy is. You want to know what they enjoy investing in. Is it someone who's going to put all your money in stocks? Is this a company who's going to put all your money into real estate? Is this a company who's going to, put it in some pie in the sky, scheme or whatever, or other businesses? You want to make sure that you choose a fiduciary and you know their strategy. You want to make sure that you understand their strategy, because it's your money at the end of the day. It's not their money. You have given it to them so that they can make wise decisions with your money, but you don't want to give someone free reign. That's, Wesley Snipes and all these other celebrities who have T-Pain and all these people who just give other people free reign of their money always end up losing it, because if it's not my money, I'm not really going to respect it. I'm not going to respect some money that somebody just, unless I'm bonded and legally bound to do this. But normally, if you just give your money to somebody, it's different than it being your own money that you've earned. So make sure you know their strategy. Also, consider, this is another thing why I think women would be really, really good in investing, because we have that instinct. We have that sixth sense We have that that feeling, our gut, Always trust your gut with whatever you are investing in, whatever it is, whatever you're deciding to do with your money. Trust your gut. So, say if I am starting a business, make sure that you're getting around people that you know are business savvy. Take business courses yourself. Make sure that you are well versed on these things, and your gut is always going to guide you. And so make sure you pay attention to that as well. But you can, so say, I know a lot of you may be beginners. I would invest in mutual funds. I would invest in, of course, real estate if you could. And I would invest in stocks. Which one is my favorite? Of course, real estate, I'm going to say, is my favorite because that's the one that I've studied the most. That's the one I know the most about. And a mutual fund, you really don't have to know anything about it. Just what's my return? And mutual funds aren't really like as plentiful and bountiful and diversified as real estate. Like you can do one real estate deal like 10,000 different ways, so that's why I kind of like real estate, because it's like playing Monopoly. Like, okay, if I do it this way, I'll only make 240,000. But if I flip it and do this and include this person and they give me some money, then I can turn that 240 into, 300, 340 or something like that. So that's what you want to keep in mind is making sure that you are well versed in whatever you're deciding to invest in. But I like real estate because you can get big, huge chunks of money in real estate that way. So that's why I like it. Yeah. Let's see. I had another thing on here I was going to tell you guys. Also, you need to look for and look into places that are supportive of women, right? Because say if you get a big lump sum of money and you don't know what to do with it, make sure that whoever you are trusting your money with, whoever you are like entrusting with your money and getting answers to your questions or whatever, make sure that they work with women. A lot of places, especially like banks and things like that, they don't really work with women. So if you come in there, like, I'll tell you guys a quick story. So when I first moved to Houston, I had to get all of my banks and things like that transferred here. So, I already had a relationship with my banker and things like that in where we moved from. And so I had to build a relationship with the bank here. So I go into the bank, and it's a national bank. And so I go in there and I say, oh, my name is so-and-so and so, and I have an appointment. And so they were like, what? And so I could tell that they were surprised that I was a woman. They were surprised because they had already pulled up, my account before I came. So they assumed that I was probably going to be a white woman or a man or something like that. And then when I walk in there, they're like, oh my goodness, so you get the whispers and you get the whatever, but you want to make sure that you are working with a company who is favorable of women and who is very knowledgeable as far as whatever you're deciding to invest in. So basically, long story short, I took my money out of that bank and now I had to get a new bank account because I wasn't comfortable with the way that they were reacting to me, because I was like, okay, I need payroll sheets. I need to be able to do this. I need to be able to do that. And they were like, like I was getting on their nerves and bothering them. And I'm like, hello, So make sure that whatever you're investing in, you're able to put your hands on the people, you're able to talk to them at any time, and things like that. But make sure that you're comfortable with whatever it is. Yeah. So another thing that you can do with your money is you can partner with someone else to make your money grow, right? So say you and your girlfriend, both of y'all are sugar babies. Her sugar daddy just gave her 80,000. Your sugar daddy just gave you 20,000. Together, you guys have $100,000. You can do much more with $100,000 than you can with your little 20 over here. If you partner with someone who is has money, you can make your money grow just off the strength of what their money is doing, right? So get around people who have money. Make friends with people who have money. If every single person in your life is poor, you need to stop talking to all of those people, because you're never going to be able to elevate yourself, because you can't, you can't piggyback off of them. So get with someone who is going to be able to help you. A lot of people saying good night. I think, and I wanted to talk about this. I figured that a lot of this would probably be way over a lot of people's heads. But I think it's important that as women, we learn what to do with our money, But you can partner with somebody, talk to people, engage with people. Don't always be so standoffish, because you're over here by yourself and my sugar daddy give me $20,000 a month. I don't need nobody. Okay. You don't need anybody. But if you had somebody, you may be able to get a lot further ahead. So yes, somebody says gap funding. That's called gap funding. But I mean, it is called gap funding, but that's more of a business term. Like, I'm talking about person to person. You and your mom, say, if your mom has a 401k and she doesn't know what to do with it, but you're like, hey, I want to start my own business. Can I borrow some of your 401k or whatever? That's a way for you to get money as well. Who is this saying good night, baby? Bye. Somebody keeps saying good night. Who is that? Good Lord, I'll be glad when she go to sleep. Yeah. So if the only people around you are poor, you're going to most likely stay poor. So think about that. Think about that. Also, something else that you can do with your money, you can invest in other small businesses. So say, like, take me for instance, I started the PinkPrint Academy. Okay. And it's not really a business that is going to, I think it's going to be a business that will grow and thrive or whatever, but I'm just using that one as an example. And this is something that you're like, oh man, I really believe in this. I really think this is going to be a good company. And so you invest your money in the company. You want to invest for a portion of the proceeds, right? So say if you invest in the PinkPrint Academy and you want 1% ownership, just 1%. You say, I will give you $200,000 if you give me 1% of the ownership into your company. Who wouldn't give up 1%? Sure. Okay. So you invest into the PinkPrint Academy, and the PinkPrint Academy makes $10 million in the next year. Guess what just happened to you? You went from being a thousandaire to almost a millionaire just by making that one investment. So if you invest in companies and you do have a large sum of money and you say, okay, this company looks like it's going to blow up. Think about Amazon. Think about Facebook. Think about companies like Walmart, when Walmart first started. Some things seem like a pie in the sky, just whatever. Like PinkPrint Academy. People are like, it's PinkPrint Academy. I'm not going to, whatever. But you never know. By this time next year, PinkPrint Academy could grow to over 10,000 members. We could have, be going on retreats. And, I've partnered with a lady, and we're going to start a travel group where we're going to be introducing some very high earning men to some very elite, very beautiful women, and putting those two things together and have me a little dating service, So there's a lot of different things that I could do with this group to really, really grow the group, grow the academy, and make it something way larger than it could be. So you want to always think outside of the box. Always think outside of the box. Make sure that you are finding and researching different ways to grow your money, right? So that's another way that you could do it. Investing in another small business. And it could even be your girlfriend's business or something. Like, say she wants to start a hair company and she's going to get her hair from AliExpress or something like that. You could partner with her. You put your money with her money. Say, if you give me 1%, I'll, give you my money. That's a pretty good investment, because here's another little gem. Excuse me, y'all. I've been talking a lot these last couple of days, so my voice is I'm losing my voice. But I forgot what I was going to say. But if you I forgot what I was going to say. Dang it. But anyway, make sure that you are thinking of creative ways to invest your money. Don't ever hold your money, especially in a bank. If you have here's something for you. So say if you have $10,000 in the bank has the ability to loan, and that's if you have it on deposit there. If you have $10,000, the bank has the ability to loan $100,000 just on the strength of your $10,000 deposit. Think about that. So they're able to make $100,000 just because you deposited $10,000. But the bank is only going to pay you 0.01% for the year, right? If you were to invest that in your friend's company, you could be making 1%. You could be making 4% if you invested in the right real estate deal. You could be making 15% in some cases. It just depends on if you know how to work the numbers and whatever. But the bank is making more money on your money than you are. Yes, you want to have a savings. Yes, you want to have things like that. But you want to be able to have your money be liquid and move it whenever you decide that you want to move it. Like right now, if I decide I want to liquidate a bank account or whatever, you can't do that. You cannot go to the bank and say, hey, can you just give me $1 million? They're going to be like, no, because banks don't have that cash on hand. They don't even have the cash on hand, but they're making loans every day. They're making car loans and mortgages and things like that on your money, because you've been the, I'm going to get paid. I need my direct deposit. I need my direct deposit. So you're giving all this direct deposit, right? But you're not making any money off your money. If you have 5 figures in the bank right now, you're losing money. If you have $10,000 or more in a bank right now, you're losing massive amounts of money. And you could be making so much money off of that money, but you're not educating yourself. So you need to get educated on money and how to use it and what to do with it. If you don't know, then you need to find someone who does know and ask them. Credit unions are better than banks. Credit unions will pay sometimes, 2%. Ooh, but that's still not a whole lot. You're still not making a lot of money if you just have your money just sitting in a bank account. No matter where it is. But there are investments and things that you can do that will earn you upwards of, 10, 15% on your money, which is excellent. So you need to somebody says, I keep my money under my bed. I'm not trying to arouse suspicion from these banks. If you have lots of money, if you have, 100,000 or however much money, everybody doesn't need to know that. You don't need to be flossing and taking pictures all over, take pictures when you go to Bali, but you don't have to share them. How about that? You don't have to put all that stuff on the internet. You don't have to floss for the gram and do all that stuff, because real money is quiet. I was telling you guys about some of my assets in the beginning of the video, and everybody was like, oh, what? Ooh. Mm-hmm. People were surprised because I don't talk about that. I don't talk about things like money often, or the money that I have, because it's not relevant. It's really not relevant. In this case, it's relevant because we're talking about what to do when your sugar daddy gives you money. But, you know, in a lot of cases, it's not. So, and I was just sharing that with you guys. So to give credibility, to basically say, I know what to do with the money. Believe me, I do. Where do you hold our money? You can have your money in cash. You can have your money in cash. You don't have to have it in a bank. You can have your money in real estate, as long as it's money that you are not needing right now. IRA accounts are okay, but think about this. 401ks. Let's talk about 401ks. Y'all getting some gems for free, for the free right now. 401ks, IRAs, and things like that. Remember that whole little blunder with the Twin Towers? Remember that? Remember when the stock market crashed? Remember when banks were folding and people were, you know, getting out of their investments and things like that? Remember that? Remember that? I know some of my partners that lost millions in that crash. Millions in it. When the housing market just failed. I know people who lost millions. Hello, if you don't already know, it's about to be that time again. If you're not paying attention to world news and things like that, you should. You should, because 401ks are not secure. IRAs are not secure. Nothing is secure when you are allowing someone else to have control of your money. So just think about that as well. But yeah, that's crazy. And they don't replace people's money. No, they couldn't. Where are they going to get the money? Like I said, your $10,000 deposit is all that they have. They don't have the 100 that they lent to Sally Sue over here. They don't have $100,000 cash on hand. They don't even have the 10,000 that you have. If you think about it, your money is virtual. It's like in the air. It's in the air. It's somebody says gold. Yes, it's in the air. It's just a virtual number. If they accidentally added another zero into your account, you could be a millionaire tomorrow. If they accidentally hit a zero when you call in to check your balance or something like that. So think about that. Gold. Yes, I have lots of gold. Yes, gold, silver, you can invest in those precious metals. Platinum is not a very good investment because it's hard to sell it, or it's hard to get away with it. But yes, I have lots of gold, and you can get gold from different places online. But you want to make sure that you are getting them from a reputable seller. You do not want to, I'm gonna buy me some gold, and then they, spray paint some steel or something and sell it to you. You don't want to do that. So make sure that if you are investing in precious metals, that it is a verifiable, Better Business Bureau person or whatever. So there you go. But yeah, those are just some things that I wanted to share with you all about money, to kind of tweak your brains a little bit. Like I said, I'm going to be going deeper into these things and more strategies and stuff like that in the PinkPrint Academy, as far as what to do with your money. And again, I'm talking about money. Like, once you have been a good sugar baby and you get some good money. I'm not talking about like, $12,000 or something like that, or whatever you get for your tax return money. I'm talking about money. You can make a very good living if you learn what money is. What about investment apps? I have never used an investment app. The IRS did that with your tax return. They gave you an extra 1,000. See, yeah, they can. I mean, it's just that easy. But they can also take 1,000. So keep that in mind. Hi, Mickey. How can we teach our sons about masculinity to guide them to avoid becoming dusties? Just make them be responsible, but that doesn't have anything to do with what we're talking about. But yes, just make them be responsible, have chores, stuff like that, and get them a daddy. A man can teach them how to be a man. There you go. Somebody says, how do I feel about debt? All debt is not bad debt. I have a lot of debt. I have a lot of debt. I am a millionaire in debt. I'm a millionaire in debt. Debt is not dusty. Not having debt is dusty. You cannot get a loan. You can't get anything in your name if you don't have debt. If you don't have a credit card, you're dusty. If you don't have a mortgage or a car payment or something, that is very poor, very dusty thinking. That is dusty. I have a lot of debt. I have over $1 million in debt right now, but I'm very disciplined. I am very, very, very disciplined, and I know how to manage my debt. I know how to manage my debt. So I'm not like, oh, oh my God. I have people that help me manage my debt. I don't like Dave Ramsey. I hate Dave Ramsey. I like Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I like his mentality where debt is something that you use to your advantage. I could go to the bank with someone who's in debt and get more debt. The banks benefit off you being in debt. So what you have to do is get the debt, but be responsible with it. If you are not responsible with debt, don't get any. Don't get any. You just pay cash for everything. How can make my money work for me? Be the business owner rather than self-employed? Yes. Yes. Okay, let's go into being disciplined. Somebody says, yeah. Oh, goodness, y'all are asking a lot of questions. Okay, how can you make your money work for you? Is it better to be the business owner or the business owner or be self-employed? Being self-employed means that you're still working. If you are still working your business, then you are still an employee. I would much rather be the owner. All of my businesses, except the PinkPrint Academy, Lord, because y'all won't leave me alone. All my businesses, except the PinkPrint Academy, I'm the owner. A lot of times people don't even know who I am. They know who I am when something gets messed up, though. They know that. They know who I am when something is wrong. That's the only time they see me. The only time they see me is if we're having a loss in the company or something is going wrong. That's when they see me. But other than that, they don't even know who I am really. But I'm the owner. My name's on their checks, but they don't know who that is. Just like you. Do you know the owner of your company you work for? No. The owner of your company is not going to come in there and help y'all work. No, he's in Tahiti somewhere. She's somewhere dealing with my baby daddy. How do I get him to give me some more money? How I get him? That's where the boss of some company is. She's taking questions about how to deal with somebody's dusty baby daddy. Yeah. Sorry, had to throw that in there. Let's see. Talk about being disciplined with money. Yes, you cannot let your cravings for things and your cravings for money be a motivator of your actions. If you are an uncontrollable shopper, if you are a gambler, if you give money to people, there's some people, oh God, this is so poor to think this way. So it's hard to get ahead if you always trying to take everybody with you. So if you're the type of person that's like, okay, I just got $20,000. So I'm gonna pay my mama's credit card bills off, and I'm gonna pay my sister's daycare for the year, or do dumb stuff like that. You're never going to be able to get ahead if you're trying to take everybody with you. If somebody gives you $20,000, you need to be strategic with that money, and you need to be making sure that you know what to do with your money, for sure. But trying to win the world and impress people who don't even like you in the first place is the most foolish thing that you can do with your money. If you have self-control issues, it's going to manifest itself in your money, in your relationships, in your eating, in everything. You need to get control of yourself, and your money will never be able to control you. I'm very disciplined. You guys know. Start with trying to fast. See if you can fast for a whole day. Those are ways and exercises that you can do to get yourself under control, because if you're not able to control yourself, you'll never be able to have money. Not any money like talking about. You may be able to have, you know, $1,000 or $2,000, $3,000 at a time, but you'll never be able to manage 300,000. Never. Or $1 million. You'll never be on that level if you don't get self-control. So yeah, that's very, very important. That was a good question though. I say a lot. I'm so sorry. Do I know anything about royalties? I mean, a little bit. I don't have royalties in anything. I wish I did, but I don't have royalties in anything. Paying cash for everything do relieve a lot of stress. This 5-bedroom sleeps good at night being paid off for a single man. That's dumb. If you have a 5-bedroom home that you are living in, you're losing, Rob. That's dumb. If you have a fully paid for house and you're not making money off of the equity in your house, you're losing. Don't see, and that's another poor man's way of thinking. Oh, my house is paid off. Oh, I ain't got no car payment. You need a car payment. The more you can show the bank that you're responsible with your money, the more money they're going to give you. That's not something that is, you know, oh, my house is paid off. That's not a good thing. It's really not, if you're not using the equity in your home to make money for you. Yeah. Let's see. I hope this is helpful, guys. How do I know real estate is for me? You have to try it first. You have to try anything to know if it's for you. You'll never know if you don't try it. What's the best way to receive money from your SDs? Cash. I mean, I don't care as long as I get it. There is no best way to receive money as long as you're receiving money. Any way you bless me. For sure. How do you balance paying off large loans like student loans, life expenses like getting your own place or buying a brand new car? Student loans are going to be there. Sally Mae is going to be with me when I meet the fathers. She's going to be there. Sally Mae will. That is, again, a poor man's way of thinking. Debt is good. It's good. You want to show that you're responsible. You don't want to pay off $100,000 in student loans. Why would you do that? No, that's not a good thing. What do I think about Airbnb businesses? Those are very lucrative as well, because especially if it's paid off with the equity from another home. I have a friend of mine. He owns a lot of Airbnbs. He takes the equity that he has in a home and he uses that equity to buy Airbnb homes. So the money that he's charging for the Airbnb is 100% profit. All of my rentals are 100% profit. So that's a really good investment. Like I have a set of mobile homes that I purchased, and I paid like, I think it was $3,000 or $4,000 a piece for them. And they're paid off. They're renovated. They're really nice. They're in Florida, you know, where the market is very good for mobile homes. And hear me. Thank you, Miss Regina, PhD. Thank you for that. All of the money from my mobile homes that I'm receiving monthly is my money. It's money in the bank because it's already paid for. The renovation's already done. I have a management company that handles, the pipes burst and things like that. But I do not handle any of that. And I just collect the checks every month. Easy money, easy. And mobile homes are really, really cheap. Oh, thank you, Miss Denise Thompson. She says, so increasing your credit limit is good if you are responsible, meaning making on-time payments and auto pay. This is such gold. Thank you so much. Yes, If you call your credit card company and they have you at a limit of like 10,000 and they increase it to 35,000, yes, your credit score is going to skyrocket. But again, you need to make sure that your credit cards are under 1/3 of whatever that amount is. So if you have me, girl, let me do the math. Look, if you have 35,000 on there, you want to make sure it's under like 15,000, I guess you would say. But yeah, mobile homes, I love my mobile homes. All of them is money in the bank. Also, my rentals is like one of my rentals, basically, just in this 1 year, purchased a very large birthday present for my 16-year-old. And that was off one of my rentals. Another one of my rentals is going to take us on vacation for spring break. Another one of my rentals is the money that I use for sustaining my home here. See what I'm saying? So you have to use that money to work for you. You have to think like, okay, I'm going to take this money and use this for this. Like I am building college funds for my last 2 children because my first son is already taken care of. So the last 2, I'm building college funds for them. What am I using to do that? I'm using my investments. I'm using a lease option. You know, I love lease options as well. You know, you charge them I act as the bank. I use a huge, you send me a big down payment and, you know, you pay me rent every month. But if the house is paid for, it's money in the bank. See what I'm saying? You use the equity, Rob, in your home to make bigger and better, wiser investments. And I do offer personal consultations on finance. Throwing that in there. But only if you have money and if you're talking about some real money, not just, oh, Mickey, what can I do with my tax return? No. Did I hire someone to help me or did I do my own research? Yeah, I hired somebody to help me. I went to Rich Dad, Poor Dad classes, and I've had a lot of classes in finance and countless hours of sitting up listening to people talk about this crap. Yeah, but I've had lots of help for sure because I didn't know anything about this. Nothing about this at all. There was a time when I was living paycheck to paycheck. Yeah, so you bought this house at a foreclosure sale. And it was $80,000 cheaper. I'm gonna sell it soon and make around $70,000 in 6 months. Yeah, now that's a good investment. There you go, Rob. Exactly. Yeah, and then I write my business expenses off. Exactly. Yep. How do I manage the interest on the debt if you're not paying it off? The interest is going to be there. I don't worry about the interest. You can, if as long as it's under a certain amount, then again, you have to be disciplined before you go get a very large amount of, if you're paying, 15% in interest, it's because you don't have good credit and you haven't shown that you are managing the money properly. Don't go get a loan at 15% because that's a lot of money. So you want to make sure that your credit is where it needs to be before you make, such a large increase in your credit. But the interest gets lower as your credit score gets higher, and you get more perks and things like that. So it's more favorable if you show them that you're able to use the money and use it wisely. Do I think Splenda Daddies are useful? Not to me. I can't do nothing with that. Yeah. For gas money and food money. No. How do you get a consultation? admin@pinkprintacademy.com. And if you are a member of the PinkPrint Academy, you get consultations at a discounted rate. But if you're not, then you pay the regular rate. Is it better to get business credit? I wouldn't say better, but it is definitely good to have business credit. I have business credit in all of my businesses, every single one of them. I have business credit on all of my business, and I have personal credit. So talk about some money management. Lord. How long did it take me to learn enough about finances? How long did it take me to learn enough about finances, investments in real estate to then make moves? Immediately. Y'all know me. You know who is this? Miss Nymph Circe or Circe, whatever that means. Immediately. Once somebody shows me how to do something, I'm doing it that night, that day. I'm not waiting. I'm not waiting for, oh, well, let me just see when I feel more comfortable. Oh, I hope this works. I don't do all that. I don't chew on it and stew on it and, oh, I got it. I don't do that. So as soon as I learned that, like, you know, with Rich Dad, you sign up for the free 3-day course or free, you go to the free thing that they send you through. Then after you go to that, they're going to send you to like a 3-day course that you pay like $500 for or something. So then once you do that, then you they give you all this information and they say, well, if you want more, you got to take these classes. I was like, look, what do I got to do to get these classes? And I did not have the money. And I raised the money though. I got the money to take all 7 courses at Rich Dad Poor Dad. So, you know, where there's a will, there's a way. People do what they want to do. And I knew that it was time for me to make my exit from my marital status. And so I was like, this is it. This is it. I need money. Because when I leave, it's going to be some smoke in the city when I leave. I might be taking, you know, 3 babies with me, and it may appear that I'm going to be on the losing end. But baby, when I tell you I came out on tippity top. Yes, ma'am. So that's what you have to do. You have to be very smart with your money and very strategic. Very strategic. Somebody says, my grandfather left me, I don't know, 3 million euros. Okay, so what are you going to do with it? You know, what are you going to do? Do I know about corporate accounts? No. Oh, you're welcome. Did I invest in the real estate in Rich Dad stock courses? No. I haven't had any courses in real estate or in stocks. My courses through Rich Dad were in real estate and not stocks. The stocks portion is new, and I don't want to learn anything else. I don't want to learn anything else about as far as money is concerned. I think I'm good. I have a good foundation now, so I don't even want to learn about stocks. I have my accountant is very astute in stocks, and so I just kind of gave him the money, and I know what's going on with them, but I don't necessarily know, like, you know, like that. I'm not the person that's going to do it, you know. Do I think it's ever smart to let large sums of money sit? I just said that. No, ma'am. Lena Kumar. If you have large sums of money and it is just sitting there and it is not moving or making money for you, then that's not a very wise thing to do at all. Nope. Your money needs to be moving at all times. If your money is moving and making money for you, then it's a beautiful day. A beautiful day. Yep. You need to add more men to your roster. The Splendor Daddies isn't enough. Yep. So that's the video, guys. Unless you guys have more questions. If you have more questions, I'll be here to answer them. But I think it's important. It is so important that no, stocks are not the most important. Rob, don't send me nothing, Rob. No, stocks are not the easiest thing to learn. I can't deal with all them. You gotta watch the thing and you gotta sit there. I can't do it. I got stuff to do. I got living to do. I can't do that. Especially, I don't have a large sum of money invested in stocks, but if I see myself lose, anywhere over $25, I'm gonna freak out. Like, what the crap? So it's, thank you, Treasure Rose. I'm gonna freak out. if I lose anything over, $5. So, Mhm. I don't want to learn about stocks. I'm so good on that. And some people are good at that. I'm just not one of those. I tried it. Let's see. What sum of money is it worth getting a financial planner or an accountant? I think if you have it depends on your money management skills. If you can manage $100,000 by yourself, then you don't need one. But if you can't manage $100,000 by yourself, then you will need an accountant. It depends on your level of understanding and your relationship with money. That's going to really make the difference. So, you know, let's see, when did I get an accountant? Well, I'll just say I got an accountant early on because I had zero understanding of money. None. I was like, oh my God, oh, I made $20,000. When I say I made my first $20,000, I was like excited, and I was ready to go shopping, maybe getting some new Jordans. But I got an accountant and was very smart. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Yeah. Can I recommend any helpful books? Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That was a really good book. Have I ever started a fundraiser? Yeah, for myself. I've raised a lot of money for myself. A lot. My mother always says people ain't that broke. They can find money for whatever they really want to do. And that's the truth. I want to take financial classes as well. I wish everyone here health and prosperity. Oh, thank you. How about fundraising? Yes, I've done that a lot. Do I invest in crypto? What are my thoughts on prepaid credit cards? On a prepaid? Well, if you're building your credit, then prepaid credit cards are really, really good to start building your credit. But you don't want to always keep them. You want to keep them for as long as it takes for you to build your credit, and then make sure they turn into not prepaid cards or whatever you call them. Yeah. So you don't always want to have one, but as you're building your credit, it's a good idea. Do you get alimony too? Yes, ma'am. I do. I do get alimony. Some good ideas for businesses. Patricia R. It depends on what you're good at. Ask yourself what you're good at and what you would enjoy doing, even if you didn't get paid, and then do that. But that's a very individual question. Are my daddies in real estate too? Yes, I have 2 real estate moguls on the roster, but they don't know that I know about real estate. Thank you, Miss Tennessee Christie. She says, thank you for this topic. Money and credit should be mandatory subjects in school. Yes. And when I tell you I teach my sons about money and credit, man, all the time. They never go anywhere if they don't have money in their pockets. Where's your money and where's your shoes? If you don't have money in your pocket, you can't go with me. Even my little baby, I don't care if it's a quarter, something. As a man, you need to have some money in your pocket. So I teach them about money all the time. I figure if I start them early, they'll be able to, to use it later. So, yeah. You gonna let a crackhead out hustle you? Okay. Would I rent to a subscriber with bad credit? No. I mean, I don't know. It just depends on the situation. And it depends on if that subscriber had money. If you got money, shoot, yeah. Any other acquisitions in the future? Yes. I am currently building one of my acquisitions. I have a project that is a multi-million-dollar project that I'm working on building. And that project is going to show me an ROI within the first 8 months of its inception. So yes, I'm really, really proud of this one. Like, really. Yep. Super proud of my newest venture. Yeah. That's how you do your daughter, but you tell her, don't tell other people. What's how you do your daughter? I hope you don't tell your daughter to have money in her pocket. I really hope you don't do that. Is Florida the only state I invest in? No, I invest in, let's see, 3 other states. 3 other states. Yeah. You're passionate and good at art, but you can't see yourself being a business owner. Well, I mean, you can. There are artists that are getting paid. All them Instagram art and stuff, you can make a lot of money being an artist. I disagree on that matter when you say a man needs money in his pockets. It's happiness. Is it, Stephen? You agree a man needs happiness in his pocket? How can you grow happiness? How can you take happiness to the bank? How can you eat happiness? How has Use the Pretty helped you in real estate? That's the next video, or that's another video I'm going to do. How has my pretty, or how to benefit from the pretty in business? It has supremely helped me. If I was an ugly woman, I would not be this successful in real estate. Men cower, bow down. They break their necks to help me. My employees, if I ever show up on a job site, they're like, oh, they worked very hard for me because I'm a pretty woman. Oh yeah, I use it a lot, all the time. I leverage my pretty to the umpteenth, hundredth power in my business, in all of my businesses. Definitely, definitely. This wouldn't be a successful YouTube channel, and it wouldn't have grown as quickly as it did if I was an ugly, mediocre looking woman. Some people take, a couple years to get to, what are we at, 15,000 now, subscribers, So, how did I find a good property management company out of state? I know a person who is an investor in just about every state. So you call up people and ask them who they use, and then you use who they use. Yeah. May I continue to receive and forever be blessed, Mickey. Oh, that's sweet. Oh, thank you. You appreciate me. Thank you. Why shouldn't women have money in their pockets? Because that's not a woman's job. A woman should always be pretty. If you have a daughter, you need to be making sure your baby's hair is always combed. Do that for a girl. Make sure your baby is concentrating on her beauty, not money. A woman will never need money if she is beautiful. Teach your daughters how to be pretty. Comb their hair. Lord, I don't care if your daughter just got out of school. Make sure her hair is combed. If you have your makeup bag in the car, she needs to have her little bag in the car. Before y'all go into Walmart or, going to eat or whatever after school, you comb her hair and redo it. Don't have your baby out here looking stupid and crazy, dirty and all of that. Have her a little, maybe a little dress or something she can change into so she's not looking all, crazy when y'all go out somewhere. Teach her that. Don't teach her to have money in her pocket. That's dumb. That's think. That doesn't even make sense. Teach your daughters to be beautiful, and they will never be without money. My dad was so adamant about this. When I tell you, my dad was like, look. He sat me down. He was like, look, I don't care what you do. You make sure that you're always beautiful. Make sure you're always presentable. Period. Plastic surgery came out, back then. And he was like, well, what do you think about plastic surgery? Would you ever get plastic surgery? And I was like, well, I guess if I need it. And he was like, because my dad understood beauty trumps everything. I am business partners with multimillionaires. These people have, 16-room mansions in 4 different states. They have, this same edifice over and over and over. And they're like helping me to do stuff, to run my business just because I'm pretty. You know what I mean? I have connections that I've made with people because they're like, oh my God, you're so beautiful. Beauty trumps just about everything. A beautiful woman can bring the strongest, richest, most powerful man to his knees. Period. It just is what it is. So that is what you teach your daughters. Yeah. That is so true. I was such a tomboy, but my mom was mad and putting dresses on me doing my hair. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Even men, attractive men are more successful in sales and real estate and things like that than ugly men are. It just is a thing, you know. It just is what it is. Um, yeah, yeah. Yes, my mom. I'm my mom's twin. Apparently, that's what people say. Um, would you miss a whole lot? You missed the whole lot. Yep. Mm. Yep. So there you go. So I wanted to bring you guys this message. I felt like it was going to be really important for us. This is going to be part of the Feminine Finance series. I really hope you guys got a lot out of this. Sharing just a couple of gems. Again, we are going to be going into more detail in the varsity group of PinkPrint Academy. Don't forget, if you would like to sign up for PinkPrint Academy, you can do that at www.pinkprintacademy.com. And again, we are taking it higher, a little bit higher. We've been going over some of the basic things in the PinkPrint Academy, and we've been doing a lot of basic things in PinkPrint Academy. But I think with this new material that I've been working on and this new revamping of the PinkPrint Academy, I think that this will be more helpful for ladies and that they will be able to have more success in dating and in money management and things like that. Now, for another announcement, the PinkPrint Academy is starting something called the Golden Girls. The Golden Girls. And what that is it's going to be a group of ladies who have successfully gotten sugar daddies, marriage proposals, and things like that. There are several, I know at least a dozen ladies who I have consulted with who have gotten married, who have gotten proposals and things like that. So a lot of them came from the Gold Digging group, and they aren't in the PinkPrint Academy. But I just want to highlight some of these ladies, and they're going to have I want to get a picture of them, and I'm going to have all this graphics or whatever. So it's going to be kind of a montage or whatever you call it of of ladies who have been successful in doing the things that that I've been talking about and things like that. So if you want to be included in that, go ahead and reach out to admin@pinkprintacademy.com. I know some of you ladies watch and some are, busy planning other things. And I know one of them is pregnant right now with the little baby. So yes, it's going to be this set of ladies is going to be the Golden Girls. So they're basically going to be just a group of ladies that we can all look to and admire, and for their astuteness and their ability to get the bag, basically. Also, I am going to be starting we're going to be having another masterclass of sorts. That will be coming very soon, so be on the lookout for that. And we have a lot of different things going. I won't give it all to you, but I will just be on the lookout for lots of new things coming. I don't want to inundate timelines and things like that with all of my stuff, but now I'm going to toot my horn for sure. So be on the lookout for those things. And I think that's it. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe. 114 likes. We're doing good. Oh, that's good. 186 here, 114 likes. Great. Thank you guys so much for your support. And I'm Michaela Pink, and that's what I think. Bye.